State employees receive a variety of paid days off in a typical year. These days include vacation or annual leave and state or personal holidays and professional development days. In many cases, if an employee does not use all of the leave they earn in a given year, they may carry a balance of their unused leave from one year into the next. These leave balances present a liability for the state because the state must compensate employees for any unused leave when they separate from state service. Beginning in February 2009, the state began using furlough policies to reduce its employee compensation costs. Through these furlough programs, the state reduced employee pay in exchange for additional time off. Our office recently released a report examining the effects that these additional days off had on state employee leave balances and the resulting liability for the state. In a normal year, the average state employee receives 32 paid days off. These days include 18 vacation days and 14 state or personal holidays and professional development days. Since 2009, the number of furlough days that employees received varied greatly by department and by employee group. The average state employee, however, received 79 furlough days between 2008-09 and 2012-13. This averages to 16 furlough days each year, effectively increasing the amount of time off available to state employees by 50%. In exchange for this additional time off, the average state employee's pay was reduced by $21,000 between 2008-09 and 2012-13. We found that while state employees used a significant share of the furlough days they received since February 2009, they decreased the use of their vacation and annual leave days during the same period. This is largely because of the fact that employees use their furlough days before they use their vacation or annual leave days. This is consistent with the administration's policy that management approve the use of furlough days before vacation or annual leave days. In addition, there is a personal financial incentive for state employees to use these days first because vacation and annual leave days have cash value, and so when the employee separates from state service, they receive compensation for unused vacation or annual leave days, but they do not receive compensation for unused furlough days when they separate from state service. In addition, the decreased use of vacation annual leave days may be a reflection of the fact that departments had some difficulties completing their workload with existing staffing levels. As a result of employees using their furlough days in lieu of vacation or annual leave, the state's liability associated with employees' leave balances are historic highs and are at the highest levels for at least the past 30 years. As of June 2012, the state's liability from employee leave balances was at about $3.9 billion. For reasons we outline in our report, we anticipate that this liability will exceed $4 billion by the start of 2013-14. Since February 2009, the furloughs reduced the state's employee compensation costs by about $5 billion. By increasing the state's liabilities for employee leave balances, we estimate that about $1 billion of these savings would be carried into the future as a liability. Eventually, at some point in the future, the state will pay this cost when employees separate from state service. From the view of the average employee's salary of $69,000 was reduced by $21,000 over the 5-year period. The employee used most of the furlough days that they received, but they reduced the amount of vacation time that they otherwise would have used. The value of this additional vacation time that they banked is about $4,000 today. As the employee works, this $4,000 will grow in relation to any salary growth that the employee receives. And when the employee separates from state service, the state will pay the employee the value of this leave at their final compensation levels. To learn all of our findings related to the effects of furloughs on employee leave balances, please read our report, which can be found on our website. In addition to our findings, the report provides background on the state's furlough policies, discusses problems associated with large employee leave balances, and provides options for the legislature to consider to reduce existing leave balances and to contain them in the future.